Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back here with fourth and final part of my plans for empowering Black people in America for Black History Month on Tuesdays. I hope you enjoy it, and it's already 1:15 here in the morning, so I'm uploading quite quickly because since the last video I've not really had a huge amount of time to upload it if I want to go to sleep at a reasonable time, which I do. I always seem to go to sleep too late, so as I overthink. So I'm going to try and push myself to sleep a bit earlier if I can, but it's not looking too good on that note at the moment. But anyway, as I often do, I thought for this one I would talk about what I hope I will have achieved in the future, looking back. I know I have to do that in many of my videos, but anyway, I'm probably waffling. Strangely, I'm not as tired as I was earlier because, as I mentioned in part 3, I think I didn't really, or was it part 2? I mentioned how I didn't have much to eat, so I think that made me have low energy. But anyway, here are points number 31 to 40, and as ever, please let me know what you think. So here goes. So number 31, I hope that the future will be a lot brighter for Black people in America. I hope they will maybe even get a controversial idea, but maybe even get reparations, or at least there could be a discussion on such. And as I say, I hope they'll be empowered as much as possible. Number 32, including I hope they'll get as much support as possible. I hope to support Black YouTubers, especially in America, for February. I hope to subscribe to and just generally support as many as I can in February each year, perhaps for as long as possible, for as long as I'm alive, or as long as I'm able to. Number 33, also, well, I don't, as I mentioned in part 3, I can't subscribe to them on TikTok because I'm not on TikTok, but I can sort of check out like TikTok videos that have been recorded to YouTube. Number 34, I think it'd be interesting to read about and hear about, and maybe react to videos if and when I get the chance of Black people's experiences of traveling to different nations, and maybe they could talk about like what nations treat them the best, so they could return the favor and like support those nations and say that we're not going to visit countries, whichever term you want to use or whatever, that treat us badly. So it'd be interesting to read and hear about their experiences of traveling, and how they differ. And I mean, I suppose it could be if people know that they're going to boycott countries that don't treat them as well, and companies that don't treat them as well, it would probably mean that those companies, if they want, well, they would have to mean if they want their custom and think that Black people have, I mean, anyone's money is the same, I suppose. Although they might not always have as much as other communities, but basically if they want their custom, they're going to have to treat them better. But it could mean that they treat them well to their face but not behind their back, so that is the disadvantage of that. But at least it will mean they'll be treated better, hopefully, I would imagine. So as I say, I would love to react to people's experience of traveling to different nations, which they post up on, which many have posted up onto YouTube. And also on that note, I would love to react to Black YouTube and Black TikTok generally, as much as possible. And on that note, as I say, if you do have any links, as I mentioned in part 3, if you do have any links of Black YouTubers, please let me know so that I can subscribe to them and support their channels. And also maybe react to some of their channels as well. If there are any that you want me to specifically react to, any videos or anything like that, please let me know by typing up in the comment section. Number 35, I think it'd be interesting if Black Americans, Black people in America, owned or at least invested into their own, or at least invested into existing train and general travel companies and operators and things like that, different companies, maybe like organizations which give traffic reports as well, maybe, but also, as I say, train and travel companies generally, as well as like resorts, hotels, and different things like that. As I mentioned before, it'd be great to read from people about read and hear from people about what are the best industries which could empower Black Americans. As I mentioned, I love to support the Black American community because of what they went through with slavery, colonialism, Jim Crow, and things like that, and Ku Klux Klan, and all sorts of terrible things like that. I love to support those who have been oppressed, and especially as we have a common enemy in like white supremacy. As a person of color, POC, as they're for short, I would love to support them, from one community to another. Although I think anyone who's decent, really, I'd love to support, really, but also the oppressed and disadvantaged communities like disabled people or others. Number 36, however, on that note, as I say, I would love to support black projects, generally black businesses and whatnot, but I don't want it to be a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's seen that, for instance, I think with Africa, for instance, generally speaking, it's seen that Africa is like needing of help, and maybe it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy whereas if they united and supported each other in business and tech, maybe they could do better. And I suppose it's the same with the Black American community. Even if they got reparations, as I mentioned before, it would be good if they used it in a wise way, which could be more lucrative in the long run. And also, as I mentioned before, like a rather controversial and possibly, I'd say a selfish and biased idea of mine. I would love to improve the relation between Italians and the black community through football, soccer, for any Americans out there. And I'd love for the migrants that go to Italy to improve relations, but also like maybe African Americans or black Americans generally to invest. Well, I suppose it's the same sort of thing, but some people prefer the term different terms. So I'll just say black people in America, just to keep it more simple, or African Americans, whichever term you want to use, I say, to invest in Italian soccer teams, Serie A, which is the Italian league, and to help to build football pitches /stadiums /academies and that kind of thing, and have cultural links through soccer, which hopefully will improve relations between Italians and black people through soccer, as I say, and showcase what they can do to improve Serie A or Italian soccer, which I hope again will improve relations and cut racism in Italy. All being well, again, I'm probably being very naive and very much an idealist. Number 37, similar with Celtic FC in Scotland. Number 38, as I say, I hope that if we look in the future, in the next 5 to 10 years, there'll be so many black-owned businesses, banks, investment vehicles, investors generally, and that kind of thing, and so much empowerment for the black community, African American community again, whichever term you want to use, I say. Number 39, and again, hopefully they'll network together, invest together, learn from each other, and that kind of thing. And number 40, also working with, I hope they'll work with other minority communities. So yeah, I hope I haven't forgot any points, but again, if I have, as often mentioned, I'll probably include them next week or as soon as possible. Anywho, peace and love. I'm out.